Okay. So this is the last book, and then I swear to God I will leave you guys alone. This is a book that I chose, and it's a buddy read with the academic princess. If you haven't checked her out, which I highly doubt that you haven't, she's more popular than I am, but she's really sweet and she reads a lot of good stories. She does a lot of really good picks, so go check her out. And she did, like, just her recommendations are on point. Um, but I chose The Black Widow by Jade Jones, and I'm glad I stepped out of my comfort zone to read this book because it was pretty entertaining. I really enjoyed the pop culture references. I was giggling at some of them, and then, like, at one point, she starts talking about Pretty Ricky, and I started singing Hotline to myself, and then it made me think about how when Pleasure P came out with his singles album, I had that when I was in high school. I was much too young to be listening to the entire album, but anyway, I still listen to those songs. But anyway, I and I'm reading this story, and it is about a narcoleptic supermodel serial killer who unalives men in the most brutal way you can think of, and she chooses these men by their atrocities to women, and they are just atrocious men in general. Their behavior is abhorrent, and I definitely vibed with Marlo, and I understood where she was coming from. She has kind of a traumatic past and of her own, and a tumultuous relationship with her father, which I get, but she sees herself as a vigilante, taking these men out and saving them, like saving women from these men and what they could do to them in the future. And she ends up getting sort of a bloodlust, but in the midst of doing these nefarious deeds, she finds a man named Casper who is a tech genius, and he's autistic and he's a little quirky, and they kind of vibe together and they fall in love, and she has to figure out, like, does she love him enough to give it up? Does she love him enough to give it up? And she fights with herself on this, and the detective that keeps trying to find her is also having issues of her own when she has troubles in her marriage. So you have three different points of view. You have kind of two different stories going on, and then the ending. I kind of enjoyed it, but I was also kind of disappointed with the very ending. Um, but it was just an all around entertaining read. I am I'm really glad I stepped out of my comfort zone to read this. I think I'm gonna check out some more of Jade Jones' books. She does a lot of urban fantasy, and like I said, she's not an indie author. She's very well known. She's on TikTok and she's also on Instagram. I found her page on Facebook, I think, but go check her out if you would like to. Um, and definitely check this book out because it was interesting and it was entertaining, and I really enjoyed it.